Sundays for the man. Got Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man. Got Sundays for the man. We're talking Sundays for the man. Got Sundays for the man. On Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man. We got Sundays for the man. Roxbury softball. Got Sundays for the man. On Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man. We got Sundays for the man. Sundays for the man.
Woo! And that's your boy Sean Bagz Rudolph back with us. Sundays for the men. They could hear us in the other room at the Mayor's, although the curtain doors are closed. We are back. It is week 2 of the Roxbury softball season. It's Sundays for the men. You got Rick Diffendale here to my left. Around the table, we have former Mayor of Roxbury, Anthony Alacco.
Here.
We have from the Phlegm joining us tonight, your boy Zachary Moreno.
Here.
We have, as always, the Cobb Nest Monster, Kevin O'Brien.
Hello.
We making his triumphant return to the podcast. We have your boy, former Mayor Sean Bagz Rudolph.
And as always, I like to remind everybody that Bob Fred has full-blown AIDS and Trotter's got a light switch cock.
And speaking of Trotter, he's the last one around the table. His name is William F. Trotter IV, William H. Trotter IV,
Last and the least.
and former Mayor Hopeful. Bill, say hello.
Hi, guys.
And we are back, and we are ready to talk about last week's results. Opening day, picture-perfect weather, as opposed to last year when it was 40 degrees, and we were struggling through it. We got a nice day in God's Acre, and we'll get right into it. 10 a.m. game, Castaways Corp. The Castaways manager, Anthony, was hopeful last week, knowing that the Corp was only slightly, depleted manpower-wise. They still put a formidable team out there, and ended up being the game of the day, the best game of the day, closest game. Corp got out to an early lead, and the Castaways chipped away. Ended up winning the game 7-6, if I'm not mistaken.
7-6.
So, Anthony, you were there, front row seat, as was William. Take us through it a little bit.
I'm not going to lie. It didn't start off well for us. We had a really bad inning in the second inning. We made about 4 errors, and we were in a 5-0 deficit. We were down 5-0, but we started chipping away. We scored 2 runs the next inning, and then we had a big inning where we wound up putting up 6, I think like 5 or 6 runs, and Mike Naus pitched a hell of a game, and we found a way to win. So it was a big win for us and a good start to the season.
From up here, it was surprising. I don't know if it was the second or third inning, but Bob Schroeder, who is inhuman at third base, had himself a bit of a rough inning. I'd never seen it before.
He made like 3 errors in 1 inning. I've never seen that before in my life either.
I think that's the most amount of errors he's ever made in a single season.
He
Yeah, it could
struggled
be.
early on, though, with a few plays. Not in just 1 inning. A couple times he had a hard time.
First
with a couple
game of the
plays.
season. Come on.
Right. I mean,
First game.
but he was more angry than anyone else.
Yeah, he was
Joe
furious.
Pino dropped the ball on fly.
Yeah, Joe
out
did.
in the outfield.
Like a lazy
And he
fly
came
ball.
through with 2 clutch hits.
Mike
to
O'Shea
put him
dropped
up,
a couple at first base.
I'm pretty sure that Pino came up the inning after.
And
after
then he knocked in 2 runs,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he had a big hit. up the
O'Shea
middle.
had a very big hit that put you guys ahead, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That Al came in on, and it went under his glove.
Yep.
Wound up clearing the bases, I think. It was a very it was just a all in all good team win.
Good game, man. Grind it out.
Yeah, they
You know,
grinded. Bats
the-
were cold in the beginning, grinded it out towards the end.
I'll give credit to the guy that pitched for the Corp. He didn't have a bad game. The guy that filled in. I don't know. I'm not sure what his name
I
was.
forget
but
his name. They told Edo.
Edo. Yeah, he pitched pretty well for them.
He's been on the team before, right?
I think they said he's been on the roster for a while, but he's never played. He plays for the Sand Sox with them down there. So Jerry wasn't here. Jerry O'Donnell also wasn't here. So in an emergency spot, he almost got the win.
Yeah.
So
And we'd like to say welcome to Alex Diffendale.
the new commissioner has graced us with his presence as we've just begun here. Al, say hello. I got nothing to say. That's his hello. And as far as I know, Anthony, that was a cover. The spread on that game was
Castaways plus 2.5. So Castaways did cover the number and won on the money line.
there you go.
For you bettors at home.
For all those big time bettors of Roxbury softball, it was a good one for you. So that was the 10 a.m. game. Castaways took sole possession of first place for the time being at 1-0. The 11:30 was the game of the week, right? We dubbed that the game of the
It
week.
was the Bombers Bush Leaguers.
Bombers Bush Leaguers. I picked the Bush Leaguers,
You lost.
and I'm pretty sure I had everything to do with the Bomber victory, motivating them. Pretty sure the final score was 8-2. Yes.
Yes. Per the app.
I didn't see much of that game as I was up here, but everything I did see was a typical Bomber victory. Anyone care to chime in?
Well, there was some controversy to start the game. I don't know if
Please-
you want to get into that.
Please do.
Oh,
Please do
yeah.
tell.
With I'm not sure what the kid's name was.
On the Bush Leaguers, right?
Yes, the left center fielder.
They said
Okay.
Alex, I think, walked over and said he's ineligible or something
Yeah,
like
they
that.
said that he's a waiver, but then the Bush Leaguer said that Amster isn't a waiver because he has family down here, so this is their waiver. And he wound up playing, and they still wound up losing, so it didn't really have an impact on the game. But it was a little fireworks to start it, which
Yeah.
I thought was interesting.
I mean, we got like at a certain point this year, we got to get into the whole ringer waiver conversation again and see what constitutes what. It's a thing down here, and I like a little fireworks to start it off. Let's go.
I'm not a little surprised by that,
Let's
though.
get fired up,
because
though.
The Bush Leaguers last few years are known as off the slow starts in the season, where they lose their first couple games and then they go on a nice little run midway through the season to get right back in the thick of things.
So you, Sean, are not worried.
No, not for them though.
Well, they played the best team in the league. You know,
Yeah.
you can't really say anything. They're not a better team than the Bombers.
No,
The Bombers were the better team, and they won.
I agree.
But a lot of people here were picking the Bush Leaguers last week, which
Yeah, I did.
I was kind of surprised by that. I don't know why.
I picked them.
You don't pick against the Bombers on Sunday. Haven't we not learned this yet?
And the spread was what
Opening
on
day
that game?
also.
The spread was 2.5 on that game too, and the Bombers covered with ease.
Indeed. All right, so that was the Bombers taking it to the Bush Leaguers 8-2.
Their waiver looks good though. Did you
What's his
see him
name?
at all?
What's
Bombers?
his name? Tomas.
Yeah. No, his name's not Tomas. I think his name's like Joe.
I keep hearing the name Tomas being thrown around this place.
I am
Oh, it's a
12.
Bakers waiver. Thank you, Kamish.
But he's good.
His name is Mike, right? They got another Mike.
Yeah, he bats.
Their
he
15th Mike on the
he
roster.
He hit leadoff, and he played like I think right center or left center. He's fast.
Oh, good, just what they
What
needed.
team we talking about?
The Bombers. He's very fast.
As you would say, the rich get richer.
Yeah, the rich get richer.
So an 8-2 victory for the Bombers, defending
Cool
champs,
story,
picking up
bro.
right where they left off. We'll get into them a little later because they play the 8 p.m. game tonight against the Goons. But before we get into that, the 1 o'clock game last weekend, we had the Goons and the Shockers. And, the Goons offense just did not show up. I personally thought they would. It's not a surprise, jerk. It's a actually, no, that's what I mean. That's not a surprise. I stand by it. Unsurprisingly, the Goons couldn't find that one clutch hit. They had a lot of guys on base, shorthanded Shockers team, and I believe the final score was 4-2. And just a disappointing opening day for the Goons. Although the spread on that game was
1.5.
and
They covered.
we covered.
No, you didn't.
We didn't cover.
No,
Two,
they
right?
covered. The Shockers covered. It
Yes.
was 1.5. They won by 2.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And you picked that.
Yes.
I bet you don't teach math, do you?
Not even close to math.
Thank
You're
God.
still not getting this whole spread thing.
No,
I'm
it's going
trying-
to take me 16 weeks to get
All
it.
right.
Even I figured it out.
I'm having a hard time with it. I'll be
You're
honest with you.
struggling a little bit.
I still
The
don't quite
final
know what it
score,
means.
Just add what the team had. If they were
Okay.
+1, add that to their
Yeah,
total. If
I'm
they were
gonna
-1, minus that from their
I'm
total.
going to forget what you just said.
I didn't really see the game, so I can't really comment on it.
Go ahead, Bagz. You were there.
A lot of missed opportunities by the Goons, by us in that game. I don't think we really took advantage of how wild Steve Edwards was.
Steve Edwards.
Edmonds.
Whatever.
Steve from the road.
Steve from the road. I don't think we really took full advantage of how wild he was pitching. There was a couple of times where he walked the first two guys to start the inning, and then the third guy would get up, would just swing at the first pitch, would drive me up the
Yeah.
wall.
When you told him patience,
Yeah.
because he just threw 6 out of the strike zone.
Well, I mean, nobody really could hear me because the Bush League was blasting music on the first.
That's also
first
true.
base line, so nobody could really hear what I
I
was
mean,
saying.
Jesus Christ with the music.
You know, it is what
At
it
least
is.
play good music if you're going to blast it.
They should have played Wild Thing.
But I do have a 1,000 on base percentage. Just want to point out.
Fair enough. Well, I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
Picking up right where I left off last year.
But yeah, not a good game, not a good start for the Goons offense, and again missing a couple guys. So I guess early on, Anthony, your prediction was true.
No, I thought it would. I didn't think it would be that close.
No,
to
but
be honest.
you mentioned about who's going to show up for the Goons, and we didn't have Kenny, and we didn't have Keith, and
We're missing a couple of guys tonight too. So we'll see what
there's
happens.
a surprise. So yeah, not a good start for us. Good for the Shockers, 4-2 win. They get their first win of the season, and then we had a 2:30 game. It was the Phlegm and the Sharks, and on last week's podcast we were talking about. I was talking run rule, so I bet the Sharks by 15, and it didn't happen.
No.
No, it did not happen.
Do you want the score?
I believe the final score was 7-1,
Correct.
if I'm not mistaken. 7-1 Sharks, so they get the victory. Zach, as a member of the Phlegm,
Yep.
you had front row seats. How'd that game go in your eyes?
Well, started off first inning. We went up 1-0, and then
So it was a come from behind victory for the
it was
Sharks.
come from behind victory for the Sharks. Greg was just on his game. The bats weren't really rolling for the Phlegm. It was just a matter of time till a couple bad plays in the field, and then they just started crushing the shit out of the ball, and we just survived after that.
And how about your new guys, Mikey McIntosh? What's Lindsay's boyfriend's name? I can't call him
His name's
Lindsay's
Kyle.
boyfriend. Kyle.
I was gonna say Mike.
He's pretty good. He's making the transition from baseball, so he's getting used to the high arc. Especially Craig was a good first test.
Where do you
Jesus
play
Christ.
in the field?
He played left field.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
Made a couple good plays out there.
Guess what today is?
But that
about-
was pretty much about it.
How about Matt O'Driscoll's first game back with the Flames? How did it go?
Triumphant
I
return.
don't know. What did he finish? Dead last? Yeah, he had a good day.
No, he
though.
had a good day though.
I heard he didn't take his benching too good.
Oh, he was benched.
Yeah, he got benched.
He did not play.
Ooh.
Has he forgotten
Really?
what it's
The
like to
whole
play for
game?
the
He
Phlegm?
got
I mean,
benched, and then he batted in the last inning and flew out. So
did he show up late or was he just benched?
I think they were just trying to prove a point that if you leave the team, you're not just gonna.
Ooh, sending a little bit of a
yeah, they're sending a little
massage.
message. That's how I interpreted it.
You know what? I like it. I'm for it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
but he should be in the starting lineup tonight.
But
so.
the Flames did cover.
They covered. So you were 4-0 last week, and that was the unofficial record books. We're starting new record
Yeah,
books tonight.
unofficially 4-0.
Unofficially 4-0 for Anthony, who set the lines. That's why he's our softball guru. Knows what he's doing. So after opening day, the teams with victories were the Bombers, the Sharks, not the Goons, the Shockers, and the Castaways, all sitting at 1-0. The Bockers sitting somewhere in the middle at 0-0. They'll get into action on Sunday at 2:30. Bockers 2:30.
I believe that's what
2:30
someone
against
So they'll
the
have their
Shockers,
first game this weekend. So we'll see what the Bockers have. They were, again, a controversial pick last week. Some picked them to finish 7th. Some picked them to finish a little bit above that. We're joined by Big Daddy Greg as well. He's finally back. Would Greg say hello?
Howdy.
I'm glad he's here because we're going to make our picks and preview tonight's games. First night games of the season. It is a pleasant evening outside. Doesn't look like much wind out there. And your 8 o'clock game will pit the Goons against defending champion Bombers. So let's go around the table. Anthony, your predictions for tonight and anything you're looking for in this game.
I think the first game is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I hate to say it, but
But real talk though, like
real talk.
what do you really think is going to happen?
I think the Bombers are going to run rule the Goons. I think it's going to go 5 innings, and my final score is going to be 18-1.
From your lips to God's ears.
Who's
One
pitching?
run again. I
Who's
understand
pitching
it.
for the Goons?
It's going to be Jimmy Durante to at least start the game.
Jimmy Durante.
Nice.
Okay, all right.
You going with the starter?
I know they have a rockfish game too that they said they might have to leave early, but if it's 5 innings, no one's leaving early. All right, so 18-1.
Yes.
By the way, what's the spread on this game?
Spread is 13.5.
All right, so
In favor of the Bombers.
so if we lose by 12 or less, we cover.
13 or less.
13 or less, we cover it.
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, I would forget everything Zach
killing
just
me.
told me.
You're killing me.
Shut up.
Please tell Sandy from never to have you teach any math
First of all,
classes.
they know that already. So Anthony has the Bombers 18-1 in 5.
And covering.
Not out of the realm of possibilities. Zachary, you are here.
I think
Let's go.
Bombers all day. I think the score is probably.
Well, it's a
gonna
night
be-
game. It's a night game.
It's a night game. Okay, it's really not going to make a difference.
So not Bombers all
Um,
day.
All night.
There you go.
I think score is probably going to be. It's going to be 15-3, and the Goons will cover.
I like it a little bit. Greg, you're here now. Make your pick, pal.
I'm going to take the Goons with the points.
What's the final score of the game?
15-3 like Zack said.
Okay, well, what are you, Trotter?
That's my
Cobby, you in on this, Bubby?
Sure.
He's so soft-spoken. Go ahead.
Probably going to go Bombers 12-4.
So we cover, right?
Yeah. 8. You would cover.
And that's in 7 innings, damn it. I don't want to play 7. Bagz, Mr. Clutch. What do you got?
I'm taking the Goons with the points. I like the Bombers to win the game outright 15-4.
Okay. William H. Trotter.
I'm taking the Bombers 104-4.
Well,
Is that his middle initial H?
yeah, Henry. Henri.
104-4.
So you just.
I will take the Bombers outright It's going to be a 5-inning game. Final score 17-2.
Okay, so me and Ricky picked the Bombers. Everyone else picked the Goons plus the points.
Goons with the points.
Yeah, but
if I was smart, I would have written this down the whole time.
Goons would cover.
Goons are going to cover.
Damn it, Trotter.
See, I'm not alone. Someone else doesn't understand these spreads.
I'm too drunk to
He
eat
had-
this chicken.
He's speaking too soft.
His sugar's out of whack. All right, leave him be. He doesn't know what's going on.
That was a funny comment that no one heard because he's too far away from the microphone. Anyway, shut up, cop. Okay. So, all right, yeah, we could all agree that it's not going to be great tonight at 8 o'clock. Bagz back on the soundboard and all is right with the world. The 9:30 game tonight, we'll have the Castaways and the Phlegm. Castaways coming off their big victory against the Corp opening day. The Phlegm off their cover against the Sharks, former champions. So, Anthony, what do you got? It's your team versus the Phlegm, your old team. Go for it.
I'm going to take the Castaways 12-3. We're going to cover the 8.5.
8.5 is the cover. Zachary.
Let's see. Flem do have a pretty full squad tonight, so I'm sure they're going to siphon some guys around. But I think the Castaways are going to come away with it 12-1.
Wow. Sounded like there was a lot more promise in your voice. before
Yeah,
you-
I thought you were going to say
Well,
something.
I don't know. I just literally just had an epiphany right now and change it up.
Gregory.
Castaways 10-2.
So we don't cover.
So you don't cover. Nope.
Cobby.
Castaways 13-3.
That's a cover. Sean Bagz.
The spread is 8.5, you said?
That's
Yes.
correct.
I like the Castaways 13-1.
That's a cover. Henry.
I'm taking the Castaways.
And
I'm going to go 10-2. I think they
We
can.
don't, we don't cover
someone totally said 10-2, by the way.
that. It's 8.5.
You unoriginal bastard.
So you're taking the Phlegms if that's the score.
You're taking the Phlegm. You took the Phlegm.
to 2.
No, I think
It would have to be 11-2.
He's buying the hook.
8.5.
I'm buying the extra point.
You can't buy no. All right, so now I'm confused. What's your pick?
Stand by. Stick to your guns.
So it's the Phlegms. Just say you're taking the
Stick to your
Phlegms.
guns.
So I'm taking the.
Picks the Castaways to win, but
Yeah, I took the Castaways to win,
to win,
but the
and the
Phlegm to
Phlegm will
cover.
cover.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I will take the Castaways to cover and win. Final score 11-2.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
I did get it, right? I was
yeah,
good.
you got
You
it.
hear me?
That slight pause
Yo, I
was
got
he was
re-
doing the math.
I got really nervous when I said 11 to start. Really nervous.
He subtracted. He did the math.
Let's circle back real quick before we get into Sunday's games. We'll also preview Sunday's games. You had an idea, Anthony, before, and I think we should talk about it. So put your thinking caps on, fellas.
No.
Did anything or anyone... Relax, Bill. Relax. You good?
I don't even know what idea you're talking about.
The idea was, I feel like, did you say, what or who impressed you on opening day?
That was
Oh, it was
Greg.
Greg.
That was not
Greg,
me.
since you brought it up, I assume you have something to say. Who or what impressed you on opening day?
Naus Jr. at shortstop.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I think that's a good one.
He looked pretty good out there.
Yeah, he didn't make one error.
But he's a ball player.
Yeah, he's a ball player.
And Mike Espo Jr. didn't play bad either.
I think he had 3 hits.
Listen, you guys have a little
Youth.
a little youth injection and a couple guys out the middle for years to come. Would it seem?
As Double
What's
A
a
would like
ute?
to say, nice legs.
Young, nice legs.
Yeah. I mean, they look good. I think that's a good one, Greg.
Honorable mention, Timmy Macaro on our team. He's the youngin. He went 2 for 2 against Craig. Not bad.
Not bad.
I was impressed by young Jimmy Durante on the Goons. Came in, hitting his opening at bat, threw a guy out at home on a nice throw. That impressed me. I think we got a ball player if he shows up. Young Jimmy Durante.
Where did he play? He played the
He
outfield?
played left center because we had to, we were going to put him in left, and his dad said he can cover ground, put him in left center, so that was a good move. Plus, we had Andrew at short because Kenny wasn't here, so we had to move some pieces around. And he played well. He hit well. Caught every ball hit to him. Threw a guy out at home. Good. I think a good little pick.
Nobody
when he
watched that
shows up.
game, by the way. Nobody watched it.
Everybody was still celebrating the Castaway victory, drinking that Sailor Jerry.
I was working.
And Anthony was under the gun up here working.
Yes, I was under the gun.
I would
Sweating his
say
ass
Jimmy
off.
Durante, young Jimmy Durante was the lone bright spot for the Goons. So
Correct, because I certainly wasn't. I was very dim.
The Phlegm were too busy taking photo ops with the new jerseys.
Yeah.
So we weren't paying attention.
Yeah, and Eileen was out there in force. She
What,
was
she
taking
take,
pictures
like,
of people's
900
shoes.
Pictures? She took about 900 pictures or something.
Well,
I saw
that's
on
her
Facebook.
job. She's Roxbury's unofficial
She's a crazy
photographer.
picture lady, and we love
That's
it
what
for
she
it.
does.
Miss Kodak moments.
Yep.
Anyone else impressed on opening day? Bill?
No, I was going to make a Sailor Jerry comment that whoever put the open bottle of Sailor Jerry in my cooler, I'm going to kill because I just scrubbed that shit because it smelled like rum all week.
Oh, did it spill all over the place?
Yeah, no, it was all inside my cooler. It was
I got to
disgusting.
tell you, I don't care.
And to whoever who put that in his cooler,
Our
And
guest
look,
is here.
Before opening day, it smelled like dead bodies. So
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined
No,
by
it
a
didn't.
special guest from the Bombers, defending champions and 7-time champions. We are pleased to welcome to Sundays for the Men, Mr. Bob Fred Willis. Bobby, say hello.
He still has AIDS.
yes, he does.
Hi, boys. How's everything?
fresh off his tree.
We're good. Now, should we have Bobby make picks for tonight's games
Yeah, we
now that
should.
he's here? All right, Bob. So here's the deal. You got Goons Bombers. The spread is Bombers plus 13.5.
No,
Minus 13.
Minus 13.5. This is not my job. It shouldn't be. Bombers minus 13.5. Who you got?
Goons.
Okay. Well, you got a final score for us?
We squeak one out.
You are. I'm surprised. Are you missing people?
Quite a few.
I wouldn't be nervous if I was Bobby.
Excellent.
Greg, you picked the Goons, right? Oh, Dubs. I'm not changing my pick.
You know you're in trouble when you have duty starting.
Is he pitching?
No, he
Then
can't.
you're
throw.
not. Then you're not in trouble. You are not in trouble if he's not pitching.
I'm still.
You guys still can't hit, so
That's true. That's true. We've covered that as well in your absence. And we have the 9:30 game, Castaways Phlegm. Anthony, what's the spread?
8.5.
Castaways by a mile.
Was that the consensus at the table, or no? Some people picked the Phlegm.
Well, I think we all picked the Castaways to win, but like I picked 10 too. So I
You
think
picked 10-2 because Greg picked 10-2.
no, that's not
'Cause
why.
you're
That's
under-
exactly why he
That's
did.
absolutely right.
Because Trotter can't think for himself.
Fuck you. I
obviously.
think the Phlegm cover, but I think
I
we
mean, you
win.
don't have to curse him out. I mean, come on. Fuck. All right. So we got Bobby here. Let's ask him a couple questions about the Bombers before we get into our Sunday picks. Bob, you are missing a key cog in the wheel, Anthony Piccioni, all year. How do you expect that to affect the team?
Anthony and Marty are great up the middle together, but looks like Mike Johnson's filling in pretty well. And I talked to Marty, and he says Johnson's always there to hear what Marty's got to say. So I think it's going to work out well.
If we know anything about Marty, it's he's a big fan of Johnson. So I anticipate that working very well together up the middle. I'm going to ask you to make a bold statement, Bob. Come August 20-something, who's hoisting the championship trophy?
I'm not good with predictions, but I would say we will be there in the chip.
Very liberal answer, but I like it. All right, that's fine. All right, so that's Bob Fred Willis, his 2 cents for what it's worth. We're also joined in the gallery by Lauren Willis. She doesn't have to say anything. And Jenny's here, too. Hey, Jenny, little shout-out. Let's get into Sunday. Who's got the Game On app up? Let's get some Sunday predictions before we get into some actual game time coming up. Billy, what do we got 10 a.m. Sunday?
Castaways at Bombers.
Castaways at Bombers, Sunday, 10 a.m. The Bombers in their advanced age now love 10 a.m.s.
Curfew.
So, Anthony, let's set a spread on this game. Oh, I think you already did before.
13.5.
13.5.
We're missing a lot of people on Sunday.
I mean,
It's
this
gonna
is
be
what
ugly.
plays into it. So, knowing that, 10 a.m. Sunday morning, Bombers Castaways, Anthony, who you got?
I'm taking the Bombers to run Willis on Sunday.
Okay, wow. All right, well, there's that.
We're not gonna have a good team on Sunday.
Zachary?
I'm going to have to concur. I think the Castaways do not get it working with the bats on 10 a.m. this year.
So you're picking the Bombers to cover 13.5?
Yes.
Greg?
I have one question. Do I need to bring cleats?
Maybe.
I'm taking the Bombers.
It's a maybe.
The Cobb Nest Monster.
Bombers as well.
Bagz?
Just to be a little different, I'm going to say the Castaways cover the spread, but the Bombers win.
Okay. Henry? Billy's doing a lot of work right now. He's
Yeah,
writing down all the picks.
Thinking, I'm writing
He's
it,
doing
you're
okay.
putting me
He's
on
just
the
going
spot.
to just put down what Bagz
He's
picked.
just writing down everyone else's things so he can say the same thing.
Just put down what Bagz picked. You know you're going to.
He said the Bombers, but we cover.
Yes. And you like that, don't you?
Yes.
I knew it.
I agree. I concur.
There's a fucking surprise. Bobby, who you got Sunday morning?
I guess I'll just go with Anthony's pick and say us by a lot. I don't know.
I'm going to go with Bagz. I'm going to say the Castaways cover, but also lose by 12. So there's your 10 a.m. Sunday. Show up for a real barn burner.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
Who do we got 11:30 Sunday? I believe that's the Goons, right?
Goon Sharks.
Goon Sharks. I don't know who's showing up for the Goons on Sunday. I'm worried about tonight first.
Spread's 11.5.
11.5. Okay. Zach, we'll start with you.
I'm going to take the Goons with this one. Sharks will win. Goons will cover.
Gregory.
I'll also take the Goons. I don't think the Sharks scored that many runs.
Cobby Cobberts.
I think I'm going to side with Zachary on this one.
All right, so far, 3 picks. 3 picks for the Goons to cover. Bagz.
Although they swept us last year, I think the Goons cover. We played them tough last year, both games. So Goons cover, but they lose.
Henry.
Run rule by the Sharks.
Oh, great, I love you, Dick. Bobby.
Sharks by a mile.
Okay. I'm going to pick the Goons to cover.
You get nothing.
And the Goons to win.
You lose. Good day,
Goons win Sunday,
Wait, what?
7-5.
Can we just say that last week Ricky was outraged when we said the Phlegm would beat the Sharks, and now he's picking the Goons to beat the Sharks?
Yes.
Can we remind me what
The
Double A
Goons are
Zach
better than the Phlegm. That's
said?
why.
Yeah, Bobby did put that on
I
Facebook.
disagree.
That's
I-
to be determined.
Yeah, we know you disagree.
And I didn't get to make my pick.
I know, I'm waiting. Go.
Sharks win 13-0.
Oh, shit. That's a tough pill to swallow.
You guys get one hit by Craig on
Son of a
Sunday.
bitch.
How many strikeouts that game?
And that hit will be by me.
Yeah, that one hit's going to be
The
Bagz in the 7th inning.
the under over on strikeouts is 5.5, and I'm taking the over.
What was the spread on that? 13.5?
Yeah.
No, 11
No, 11.5.
The Goons will be drinking the next day.
Yeah. The under over.
I'm always a fan of that. I'll tell you that.
5.5.
Okay, fair enough. Then I hate you.
Win or lose, I'll be drinking.
What's the 1 o'clock game
Fact.
Sunday, William?
Flem Corp.
Flem Corp. I'm just going to go ahead and make my pick. 17-0 Corp, and they cover whatever the spread is.
Spread's 14.5.
Yeah, they cover it. Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be a revenge game after losing to the Castaways, so I expect a lot of frustration to be taken out, and I'm going to go 19-1 Corp.
Zach, you could say it.
That's
You're
what
not.
I was gonna say.
Zach's going to pull a Billy right here.
Corp are going to come out with a vengeance after last week, and they're going to eviscerate us.
I like that word.
I'm going to say 6 innings. That's all.
That's a cover. Cobby,
No, it's not.
I'm going Corp 17-2.
Bagz.
I like the Corp by 3 touchdowns.
Oh my God. With the extra point or without it?
Without it.
Still a cover.
And Billy.
I'm taking the Corp because I'm
And
a
Bobby.
bitch.
Corp win, Phlegm cover.
Wow, Bobby's the only one to take
Flem
the
cover.
Flem cover.
Right. Bobby takes the Flegums. And there's a 2:30 game. It's the Bockers season debut against the Shockers.
That's the game of the week.
Bockers
I would
Shockers.
agree.
This is this week's game of the week. We need a game of the week drop, Bill. Write that down. Anthony, go ahead. What's the spread?
Bockers minus 3.5.
I still don't know what it means.
The Bockers going to win by 4.
Okay. I'll
Zach can
take
start.
the Bockers.
I'm going to take the Bockers also.
I'm going to take the Shockers if Shane Gresser's pitching. If not, I'm taking the Bockers.
Can't do that. You have to make a
You can't
pick.
do that.
Excuse me.
You better make
Make a pick.
That's your
I'm
family.
taking the
You better
Bockers.
make sure
Okay,
that
there he
Shane
is.
pitches then.
Make a fucking pick.
Took the Bockers.
Cobby, get off your phone and make a pick.
Bockers.
Bagz?
I like the Bockers in a high-scoring game.
Who are they playing again? Because I'm writing shit down.
Bockers, Shockers. Pay attention.
Shockers.
Oh, I'm taking the Bockers.
Yes, you are, because everybody else did.
Bockers, and I think they're going to be way better than everybody thinks.
That's fair. They kind of were last year, but then not so much.
Listen to the last podcast. You guys had them kind of
I did not.
Some people had 'em
I
low.
had him low.
Some people
Greg
had
had him
'em
low.
low.
I had him low.
I,
They're going to be way better than everybody thinks.
I think the Bockers will win, but I think it's going to be a close game. I'm taking the Shockers to cover the 3.5.
Okay. Did you get mine? I got the Bockers.
Yes.
All right. Excellent.
You guys keep stats of who gets
We are now.
We are now, and next time I'm
It's
doing
starting this week where we're
making a
keeping
spreadsheet
track.
and doing it correctly.
So,
At least
Bobby,
you-
if you want to make your
you'll-
picks every week, you just got to text us,
text it in.
and we'll keep track of them.
There's dinner involved at the end. The winner gets a free dinner.
I'm in.
Okay. Chadwick's is probably the place of choice because it's phenomenal. It's all right. The picks are in for tonight and on Sunday. Does anyone have any closing remarks? Because it's almost game time.
I That's it. You didn't have a whole show sheet? No.
Shut up.
No.
Let's ask Bobby his power rankings.
Yeah, how would you set it,
Quick 9 through 1.
brain?
Since you said that, we
He's
ranked
got the
everything a little
Bakers at
low.
1.
Well, I'll just start at the bottom. We go Flem, Goons, Shockers. Let's go. It's a tough one. Let's go Castaways, Bakers, Bush Leaguers.
Top 3.
Here we go. Let's go Sharks,
Say it.
Bombers, Corp.
So you picked the same exact.
I think I pretty much had that. Except that I had the Bakers at 7, though.
Regular season, by the way.
That's fair. That's fair. We all know what happens on Sundays in the
Patriots
playoffs.
in the playoffs.
Oh no!
All right, so it's
Terrific.
it's almost game time tonight. Roxbury, first weeknight games of the summer. You can feel it in the air, boys and girls. And we're happy that Bobby joined us today. So big up to Bobby for coming on, representing the Bombers. And Zack, who's been on a bunch of times, but representing the Phlegm, so thank you.
Anytime.
We are brought to you by Jewel and
Bumble. Bud Light.
and Bud Light.
And Fleshlight.
And I forgot about that. And Grindr, new sponsor this year. But
Because it's Pride Week.
this has been Sundays are for the men. Be on the lookout for our next podcast next week. We'll recap what happens tonight and what happens on Sunday. And we'll preview next week's games. I want to thank the fellas for being here and always doing a great job. Welcome back, Bagz.
Thank you. Happy
And,
to be back.
and Timmy Harrison, if you're out there, get well soon.
Yep, we
you
miss you.
bitch. I don't know. I think he's dead.
I thought he had AIDS.
Heard he died.
Heard he was identified in the Queen's morgue the other day.
Timmy, we love you. Get well soon.
Okay.
And this has been Sundays for the Men. And go Goons.
And Bob Fred has full-blown AIDS.